Welcome back to Weekly Rapid Chess. This is episode 18, and my rating is currently 1147, so a little bit down from my peak, but that's okay. I'm hoping to make that up today. Without further ado, let us begin. Okay, we are playing as white. I'm going to play e4. Okay, I'm going to put both pawns in the center right now with d4. Okay, he's attacking with this knight. I'll defend. He's attacking this pawn now. I'm going to defend it with this knight. A pretty optimal position right now with all my pieces here. I'm just going to keep on adding the bishops. Okay, he's castling that way. You know what? I'm going to castle in the opposite direction, so I'm going to move my queen here and castle queenside. And the idea here is I'm going to put both rooks and start storming pawns towards him, and I think that's what he's trying to do here with this pawn. Yeah, we're just going to stop that right now. Well, his position is quite solid. Let's do this immediately. His knight has to go somewhere. Okay, it goes back there. And now we've got both rooks here, and we're just going to march the pawns straight towards him. Okay, it looks like he is challenging here for the center. Do I have enough manpower here? He's got two knights, and a pawn. I have a pawn over here. So if takes. Okay, now I need more defense, so I'll move the bishop here. And it also adds the queen. Okay, we'll take with the knight. And you know what? We'll get rid of the bishop. His knight is going to move, and I think we should have some more freedom over here. Although, now he does have some nice open routes to my king as well. I'm not sure if I want to take this pawn, because I feel like it facilitates his rook development. And you know what, we'll take it. Just have to get ready to defend. Oh, okay, this is a good move by him. He's blocking the escape square here. So I need to get ready to move my queen somewhere. I'll put it right here. Oh, okay, now he is attacking with even more pieces. Not 100% sure I'm ready to trade the center pawn yet, but I don't think I have much of a choice here. Quite interesting. Haven't even gotten to move these pawns yet. Not sure if I want to take. Take I will. Okay, and now we need to move this queen somewhere. Don't want to move it right here, because then he does this, and my queen is under attack, and so is my knight. So I have to be careful here. Let's put the queen right here, so we can always dart back to this square. Should be nice and safe there. Okay, and the rook just came in. So we're going to put the queen over here. Maybe we should shift our focus to this side of the board. It doesn't look like I'm going to be attacking anytime soon. Okay, now the knight has to move. I was really hoping I could put a rook here, basically stop his bishop from moving, but now my knight has to go somewhere here. Which is a little bit annoying. I'll put it right here. Maybe I can push the pawn, get rid of the pawn that's here, and put the knight back. Then get a rook over here. Maybe even just put the knight here for now while it's guarded by the queen. Although if the queen has to move, then I'm going to be in big trouble. Ooh, okay. The queen has just arrived. Not entirely sure I want to go after it at this very moment, because if I move the knight, then this is quite exposed. I'll do this. Now everything kind of hangs on this pawn, but it's defended by the queen. I really don't like how safe his king is compared to mine. I'm very jealous. Okay. This is interesting. I can trade off his bishop now. Then he gets a pawn right in front of my king, which can be very dangerous. I mean, not because it's going anywhere, but because it could facilitate checkmate if his queen can, you know, get protected by it. So I'm not 100% sure I want to deal with that. Although the bishop in front is basically just as dangerous, so... No, I want to keep the knight there. It's defending things. It's helping out. Let's get rid of this annoying pawn. Maybe we can open up the rook and kind of free it. Okay, he's putting more pressure on my knight. Because now if he takes, and I take back, and then he takes again, I actually can't take over here. If I just move my king over here, it immediately becomes unpinned though. You know, I'll do that. And this bishop is actually kind of helping me out by blocking me from his rook. I have to be very careful with these squares. Like I said, I'm not happy about how his king is much safer compared to mine. This is not the optimal position, guys. And things were going so well. I had center control and everything, and I guess I just lost it. Definitely gonna have to take a look at this game. Now we can put the rook here and we'll help kind of defend the second rank. Alright, he is attacking me with his bishop. Seems like a bit of a shallow threat, but it is opening up his rook now. I'm gonna go here, and then I'm gonna try to do things with my bishop. Maybe if he's not paying too much attention, I can catch him with a skewer. And if he does move his queen or something, we can always put the rook here and just continue with our plan of defending the 7th rank. Okay, so I believe he did see this, and he is creating a big battery on my king. I'm definitely going to need to worry about that. I'm not sure if I kind of want to interrupt him right now, and then get his rook. I feel like doing this is good, because there's no way he takes since he would lose a rook in that exchange. You know what, we'll attack here. Get a little bit of time and move the rook in eventually. Also, I just noticed this knight can't move because it's pinned to my queen. So I should probably move my queen to a different square when I get the chance. Okay, he moves his rook over here, and this is pretty good because now it's just blocked by his own pawn. It'd be really nice to get someone to attack this bishop. It's now undefended. The queen used to be there. This knight is defending the pawn except for the fact that it's pinned, so I think I should move my queen somewhere. I'm gonna move the queen right here. Maybe we can trade queens or something, get rid of some of his heavy artillery that's pointing towards my king. Should also look for any forks with this knight, now that's unpinned. Maybe we can get a big fork if he's not playing very well. He's also not resetting his battery anytime soon because the bishop still guards that square. Although this pawn is still very worrisome, and I definitely do still want to put my rook there and maybe get this rook in the game because it's just been sitting in that corner. Yeah, unless he does something and I have to respond to it. This rook here and this rook over here defending the knight. I think that's a good plan of action. My opponent is thinking quite long and quite hard here. His time advantage is almost gone. I should probably use this time to think about my own position as well. Could try to trade bishops, but this bishop is nice where it is. Okay. He just puts a threat on my queen, which is not bad. I could put the queen back here now because that wouldn't be a pin. Not sure if I want to put it here or here. I'll put it here. Spice it up a little bit. Oh, we have a check. I believe I can just move out of the way. Shouldn't be too big of a deal. I am a little bit scared. I'm wondering if this is just to buy more time or if he has a plan. Okay, we have a trade here. I think I'll take back with my queen. Because if he ever gives me a chance, I can put the bishop here and threaten checkmate. Okay. He's defending his bishop here as well. I was kind of expecting him to move it. But he did not. Not sure if I want my queen to stray too far away from my king. I think it has to go here, because if it goes over here, then he just threatens it over and over again, and I lose time. Okay, this is bad. This is bad. He just threatened big mating ideas. I have to respond. I wonder how long this can hold. This was definitely his plan, kind of open up my king. I'm not sure, does he have any big mates? I think if he moves this bishop, he might be looking for something here, but this rook is still here. Maybe my queen can get back in time? I'm not sure. We're both kind of slowly losing our time. Okay, this is big. Oh, I'm definitely losing a rook in this position. Question is, if I can go here, check here, moves the bishop, say, over here. Oh, and then I run out of squares very quickly. I have a feeling I'm getting mated in there. If he doesn't just take my rook. I really want to do this, because then if he ever doesn't check me, I can immediately mate him. No, I think I have to do it. I'm anticipating this, and I'm just going to go over here. If he takes the rook, it's not check, and he loses. Okay, but he's being smart here. We're out of the way of this rook now. This isn't mate because the rook is still here. Okay, but the rook slides over. Oh dear! And that's it. Now it's over because the bishop and the queen cover all my squares. Oh no. Okay. Yeah, that's a sad end. That is a very sad end. Yeah, I don't think there's much I can do here. Oh, that's a shame because oh no, I didn't see this rook sliding over ever. I think the way I hold out the longest is by doing this. That's really a shame. That's really a shame. I can't do anything. Wow, that's sad. That's an impressive mate by my opponent. He basically lured me out to over here, and he just got his bishop, queen in, and my king was just too weak. And I believe this is over. Yeah, definitely gonna need to take a good hard look at this game afterwards. I believe if he doesn't take with the queen right now, I said no. If he takes with the queen, it's mate. Not sure why he's thinking here. Okay, he takes with the rook, which forestalls mate a little bit, but not much because he can just go down. Okay. He could just trade the rook and then win like that, but and he can checkmate like that as well. All right, wow, a lot of rating lost again here, because this guy was much lower rated than me. Wow, that was not a great game. There was one big blunder here that gave away the entire game. I really wondered what it was because I felt like I played that okay, but we're just gonna have to take a look at this. Wow, not very good accuracy. Oh, here's the big blunder. I was already losing at this point. Wow, so I just played really badly then. Yeah, I played like a 1700. Ouch, that's not fun. Guys, I was playing some like unrated 10-minute warm-up games before this, and I was doing just fine. This is unlucky. Okay. Well, we're gonna take a little pause here, and I'm just gonna go back and review this little game here. Okay, so it is time to look at the game that I just played. And I was playing as the white pieces, so I started with e4, and my opponent plays d6, which is an interesting first move, because I just get to put both pawns in the center. Usually, I like to play the Caro-Kann, but very often you'll see just e5, which is definitely the most common second move after e4. But either way, he's developing his knights, so I have to defend my pawn. He develops his other knight, so I have to defend my pawn. Well, it's already defended by the queen. But in case he starts putting more pressure on this pawn, I want to be able to put my bishop here, and I don't want just my queen to defend it because if the bishop goes there, then it gets it blocks the queen. He pushes this pawn over here because he's going to fianchetto the dark squared bishop, and I am just continuing to defend my pawn. Apparently, I'm supposed to move the other bishop here. That's okay. My opponent does exactly that. He fianchettos and then castles. As you saw, this became a very solid fortress for him later in the game. And even though I tried to break through, with putting my rooks and then trying to march my pawns, I never got to march my pawns, which we'll actually see over here where these two mistakes are. Either way, I'm preparing to castle queenside and then put my rooks on the other side. And I think he anticipates this after I move my queen because he starts marching his pawn forward. So I castle queenside and he pushes his pawn forward one more square, and I just have to stop him in his tracks, just be like, "Sir, don't go any further. Don't move. We have to check your ID, because we don't want this pawn coming towards our king and causing problems, although it does, I believe, cause some problems later. He strikes in the center with this move, but I can luckily just push my other pawn forward, and he can't take anything, and his knight has to run away somewhere. It goes back. And in this position, as we saw, I was talking about this, I didn't get a chance to push my pawns forward. Over here, I should have pushed this pawn forward, but I wanted to get both rooks here. And this is bad because now, as we see, he gets to create counterplay basically on this side, and I will never get time to march these pawns forward because I will be too busy over here dealing with the problems that he's creating for me. And yeah, he plays the best move here, which is pushing this pawn up, because now I have to deal with this. And the computer says I should take, but I really didn't like this because I felt after takes and then he takes back, I thought this was kind of scary, having, you know, 2 pawns here, and then he's going to come towards my king, but this is what the computer wants, so this is the best. Instead, I played c4, bishop c4, and this is not great, because this pawn will come in and bully the bishop around. However, it doesn't. He trades over here, and I take with my knight, and we get a series of trades here, and my queen ends up in the center. And he plays this move, bishop d7, which isn't great because it hangs 2 pawns, notably this one. This is the correct move, taking this pawn, but I go for the wrong pawn. I go for this pawn here. And you see that his advantage jumps up, because all of a sudden, he's going to be able to bully my queen around, which he doesn't. I anticipated this, though. I thought he was going to bully my queen, but he doesn't. And in this position, he brings his bishop in. This bishop becomes an absolute pain in the butt for me later on, as we'll see, because now it's pointing towards my queen. Sorry, my king. In this position, I thought he's just trying to cover my escape square, but he obviously had other plans, and I was like, okay, we're going to go over here, so if he does ever, you know, move his rook or something, we can escape somewhere. Our queen is not going to get trapped or something. In this position, he pushes the pawn forward, which is apparently a miss, and what I'm supposed to do is move the knight here to gain a tempo by attacking the bishop, because he doesn't want to lose his bishop. It's a good bishop. But I didn't see this at all. I don't know. I took the pawn, and he takes back with the bishop, and this is great for him because the bishop is defended by the queen, and my queen has to waste time running around, and it goes over here. I'm thinking, you know, we'll just go back here if he attacks it again, which he does, which is what I do. And this is actually a free pawn. Yes, I should have taken that. I had my eyes on that pawn for a little while, but I just tunnel visioned when he moved this rook, and I was like, okay, we have to move our queen back here. Don't make plans too much, guys. Anyway. He pushes this pawn forward, which is attacking my knight, so obviously the knight needs to move somewhere. And I play the best move here, which is to put it right in the center, and this blocks the bishop from hitting my king, which is good. And now he's developing his queen. Apparently he's supposed to set up a really big battery over here. But he's about to do that, don't worry, guys. He puts his queen over here, which is an excellent move. And I push this pawn over here because I thought he was going to set up a battery over here on the C file, but I think he does it on the B file later. And he plays this move here, which is a mistake. But, like I said, this bishop is about to become... it actually is becoming a pain in the butt now, because now it is covering these squares for my king. And as we see, this makes it very easy for me to get checkmated. However, I'm busy with this pawn here, trying to get rid of it, trying to open up my queen. And he is attacking my knight. And now this is bad, because if he takes over here, and I take back with the bishop, he can take back the rook, and I can't even take back with this pawn, because it is pinned to my king. So I unpin the pawn. And this is bad, though, because now my king is basically boxed in by this bishop. It can't really go anywhere. It's very restricted. And now he takes this pawn. Best move. I have to take back. Also the best move. And he immediately goes and attacks my queen. This is good, but I can just move out of the way, which is what I do. And I am setting up this threat, as I noted in the game. However, he sees it, and he moves his queen out of the way, and proceeds to set up a big battery over here on my king. It is defended by the queen, but he's basically pointing a gun at my face now, and this isn't great for me. And in this position, I make a mistake, and it's quite a big one, as you can see. The advantage, well, for him, it was already winning, but it drops from 2.4 to 5.1 in just one move right here. And the funniest thing is that this is threatening his rook, and he doesn't play the correct move here. He moves his rook out of the way. It's very natural, though. The correct move, as we see by this green area, is to take the knight, which is absolutely insane, because you would think that, like, wait, you just take back and then everything is fine. But it really isn't. It really isn't. Because after you take back, the queen comes in. And even if you take the rook, as the computer line shows, he has check, and then he takes the bishop, and even though you're up material, he's completely winning because he is on your king. And your king is done. Even with just these 3 pieces, even though you have more material, he is still going to destroy you because your king is not safe enough. King safety is number 1. Anyway, like I said, he plays the most natural move here, just moving the rook out of the way. Nothing wrong with this. He still has massive advantage. And I move my queen over here, which is a bit of an inaccuracy. I'm supposed to move my rook over here, because this just allows it to be targeted, and it has to move again, basically. Just wastes time. And I was actually debating between this move here and this move in the game. And I decided I'm going to move it here, because why not? But I really should have just moved it back to its original square. He gives a check here, and this kind of scared me because I wasn't sure whether it's an empty check or if he actually has plans here. But apparently to the computer it's just an empty check, and I created the problems for myself, especially with this move here. I'm supposed to back my king into a corner and just hope that it doesn't get attacked, just defend myself with these two rooks, and ideally everything should be fine, but no. My king decides to be brave and walks out here. He takes the knight, I take back with the queen, and I'm threatening the bishop, but he defends it. The rook is defended by the other rook here, and the rook defends the bishop through the queen, because if you take the bishop, well, then the queen that's behind just takes it. So the queen has to move. I decide to move here, because I don't want to move here, or else it's just going to become targeted by the rook again. And I was thinking I could put my bishop here and threaten checkmate. And this actually almost ended extremely well for me. Almost. It almost did. But in this position, he finds a great move here. He moves his queen directly in, and he's threatening checkmate here. I have to defend. I push the rook up. It defends the square. And he finds the next great move over here. His queen is basically coming in to kill me. And these rooks are not connected, by the way. So if he goes over here, he's winning the rooks. Except, I tried to be sneaky here. I put the rook over here, the bishop, and I threatened to checkmate him. And like I said, this almost ended extremely well. He gives a check here, and in this position, he makes a big mistake. Because the king can run out, and he eventually runs out of checks, guys. He eventually runs out of checks, and I get to mate him. But I went the wrong way. And now he has checkmate in 4. Checkmate in 4 might seem a little bit hard to find, but it really isn't, because all you have to do is move the rook here, and the other 3 moves go into me just blocking the check from the rook here. And in this last position, rather than taking with the queen and ending me on the spot, he takes with the rook here. My king dances around for a little bit. Here, there's this discovered check from the bishop. The king has to run somewhere. I could have ran over here or over here, but it doesn't matter. It's mate in 1 all the same, because the queen just comes in and just smothers the king. All the escape squares are gone. And yeah, very, very tough loss, because I had a winning chance here. And my king was brave at the wrong time. It walked out over here when it wasn't supposed to. And my king was a coward at the wrong time, and it walked over here when it wasn't supposed to. But that's just life, I guess. I played some warm-up games today, and because I really wanted to win. And the warm-up games went well, but this one did not. I played really badly. As we saw, the computer said I played like a 700 at a 64.1 accuracy, though. So this one just really did not go my way. Although it could have. Maybe if I spotted that. Just move the king out a little bit more. But either way, that's not how the game ended. I lost. It's fine. Rating is now 1136, so it's a little bit down, but I'm sure I can make it up at some point. Yeah. Anyway, that's going to be it for this episode. I really, really hope that you liked and enjoyed this. Please subscribe if you did. Check out the playlist if you want to see more content like this. And I will see you next time.